Would you like to go with me to look for bad guys and crime? Or maybe we could get a couple of bags of dry ice and fly up into the atmosphere to look for rain clouds to seed.
That sounds fun, but first I need to put a little time into our first English assignment.
We have an English assignment. The class has just barely started. Why are you in such a big hurry?
Have you even read the assignment yet?
Duh. Of course I have. We are supposed to blah 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 about blah blah blah. Right?
You are supposed to pick out something that you understand very well and define the 3 qualities that make that something outstanding.
I understand popcorn very well. I know exactly what makes popcorn outstanding. It should be salty, buttery, and crunchy. Soggy popcorn is disgusting.
No. You need to pick out a social role, like student or friend or employee, and define the qualities of that role that would make a person in that role outstanding.
Social roles? I like crescent rolls. I also like those brown and serve rolls that my mom fixes at Thanksgiving. An outstanding brown and served roll should be, let's see, brown and served. How's that?
No. You should use your X-ray vision to look in a mirror and see if you have spaghetti squash in your head instead of a brain.
Ouch.
Not that you know anything about them, but you could define the qualities of an outstanding superhero. He's smart, courageous, and strong.
You have described me perfectly.
Please. You could also take a skill that you know very well and describe the qualities necessary to be outstanding at that skill. Solving crime, for example.
Oh. I know this one. Solving crime requires marshmallows, pumpkin pie, and chocolate kisses.
I am trying to help you and you are making stupid jokes. Pay attention. The qualities you select need to be qualities that you can define and then illustrate with a story from your own experience or observation.
Huh? I do not get it.
Okay. Let us say that you decide to write on the qualities necessary for solving crime. You would start with a thesis sentence.
Not me. I always start out with a big gigantic death ray gun. Set to stun, of course.
No. I am talking about your essay. What I mean is that you should think of a thesis sentence, even before you begin writing the essay itself. The thesis sentence is the plan of what you are going to write about in your essay. Until you have that sentence, you should not write anything. Your thesis sentence for this paper could be something like this. To fight crime successfully, a superhero must be cunning, courageous, and classy.
Cunning? Classy? I have no idea what you are talking about.
Not to worry. I will write an introduction to begin the essay, and then I will write a body paragraph explaining what I mean by cunning, and I will also write body paragraphs on courageous and classy. My first body paragraph will explain what I mean by cunning.
I already know what it means. It means cute.
No. Cunning does not mean cute. This essay is going to have 5 paragraphs. It will begin with an introduction, but I think it will be easiest for you to understand if I talk about how to write the body paragraphs now. I will tell you about writing the introduction in another conversation.
Are you sure about cunning not meaning cute?
Just listen. Each body paragraph has 4 parts. The first part is the topic sentence. That is just a sentence that repeats part of the thesis sentence. In this case, the topic sentence for the first body paragraph would be, to solve crime, a person must be cunning.
But not cute.
Forget cute. After the topic sentence, then you must spend 3 or 4 sentences explaining what the topic sentence means. I would have to explain what I mean by cunning.
You will be sure to say that it does not mean cute.
Deep sigh. I told you to forget about cute. When I say that a person must be cunning to solve crime, what I mean is that the person must be able to think like a criminal. The person must be able to anticipate what the bad guy will do so that he or she can come up with a good plan to stop him. You cannot stop a criminal unless you can think like a criminal. That is what I mean by cunning.
I guess that is a better definition than being cute. Okay. Sweet. Are we done? Can we stop talking about solving crime and go solve some?
No. The first body paragraph is not done. After you write the topic sentence and then explain in 3 or 4 sentences what you mean by the topic sentence, then you must write an example of the topic sentence.
Huh?
The example is a verbal illustration of the topic sentence. It is something from real life that shows the truth of the topic sentence.
Huh?
For this essay, the easiest thing to do here is to tell a story that illustrates the topic sentence. Think of a superhero who behaved in a cunning way to solve a crime and then tell that story. The best examples show rather than tell.
So I could tell about the time that Blanket Man went undercover to expose the mayor's involvement in the drug cartel.
Well, yes.
Har har, Blanket Man. Undercover. Get it?
Very funny. You must make sure that you provide enough details so that the reader can actually see what you are talking about in your story. The example should be the longest part of the paragraph.
Okay. We are done now, aren't we?
Not quite. The last thing you must do in the paragraph is to warrant the example. That means that you write a sentence or 2 that concludes the paragraph and restates the topic sentence. A good trick is to pretend after the example that someone has asked you, "So what?" Then you just answer the question.
All of that is in just one body paragraph?
Yes.
YKES. And how long should that single body paragraph be?
Each one of your body paragraphs will be close to 1 page long, typed and double-spaced with a 12-point font.
Wowzer. And how many body paragraphs will I have?
The thesis sentence we started with is, to fight crime successfully, a superhero must be cunning, courageous, and classy. You need 1 body paragraph on cunning, 1 on courageous, and 1 on classy. That is 3 body paragraphs altogether.
3 paragraphs? Arg.
And each body paragraph will contain the 4 elements I just talked about: the topic sentence, the explanation of the topic sentence, the illustrating example, and the warrant. Each body paragraph should be about the same length, roughly 3/4 of a page long. And remember that altogether, you will need 5 paragraphs in the essay because you need an introduction and a conclusion too. 3 body paragraphs plus an intro plus a conclusion equals 5 paragraphs.
How many words will I have to write for this dumb essay?
If you do the paragraphs the way the teacher wants you to, then you will write an essay that is around 1,200 words long.
My crime-fighting days are over.
No, they are not. This kind of writing is very patterned and organized. Just come up with a clear thesis that organizes the points you want to talk about. Then develop each paragraph with those 4 elements and pretty soon you'll be back on the streets chasing bad guys.
Okay. You have been a super help to me. You are a true superhero.